Return visit to the new Devil's Crypt, the former Cicero Town Hall of Horrors. What'd you think?
It's excellent. It's 5 chainsaws. It's going to be a contender for Haunt of the Year. It's atmospheric. It's long. You're going to get, a lot of value for your money. The actors are excellent. They're not in your face. It's fairly well lit in there. Let me think. There's so much cool stuff in there.
Many scenes.
Many scenes. It actually topped it from last year, which last year was excellent. It's even better this year.
What's the creepiness factor like?
The highest. It's a 5. It's atmospherics. Probably the best, sound. The coordination of sound is probably one of the best I've seen.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's really one of the most perfect haunts.
Excellent. So 5 chainsaws from you.
Definitely.
All right. All right, Devil's Crypt. What did you think, Laura?
Outstanding. Fantastic. I love it every year, but every year it seems to get better and better, and it's like just when you think, how can they do any more? I mean, this is fantastic the way it is. They seem to top it. Absolutely loved it. And this haunt, actually, I mean, as far as the creepiness factor, this wins, hands down, like out of anyone I've been to recently, because you walk in and it's just you're like in the basement, and there's just candles and there's little things, and you don't know when the actors are going to pop out, and it's just the whole eerie feeling. It's just so creepy. I was actually creeped out, and I jumped 3 different times with the actors. I mean, they kept getting me because of instead of, like, some haunts have a lot of actors and they're effective. But in this haunt, it wasn't so much, they had a lot of actors, but they weren't right by you all the time or in your face. It kind of let you walk through, and you had to wonder when someone was going to pop up. And that was what the creepy factor and the whole, scaring you because you didn't know and you didn't expect it. There was one room, I don't want to give away spoilers, just there's one room that you walk into. No, I don't want to do a spoiler. But you walk into it, and you're enclosed, and then a light comes on, and boom, it's just like, it scared the crap out of me. Yeah, it's just like maybe jumped, I didn't expect it.
And just to give a comparison, normally we don't get scared more than 3 times a whole season.
Right. I mean,
and this was 3 times
now.
in one
every
haunt.
now and then they'll get me, but pretty immune. But yeah, I was continually I was jumping and like, wow. But they have great props, excellent sets. There's a set where you walk over. They've had this before, but it seems like every year it gets better. They enhance it. But there's a bridge, and there's water, thunder, and lightning. There's these huge spiders. Really cool. There's a crypt area. Well, there's a few crypt areas with a satanic area. Great animatronic figures, including zombies that come out like they're behind walls, but their hands are coming out. Excellent. Another thing I want to say about Cicero, it's another one of these haunts with a lot of heart. They love what they do, and they're there to entertain people. And there's not that many haunts. I can probably count on, a couple fingers the haunts that, everybody I'm sure has heart with it. But they really put their all, at Cicero into it. This is, contender for Haunt of the Year. It's definitely, it's in the Hall of Fame. I know I could say that right now, Hall of Fame.
Okay, the thing about Cicero, which is now called Devil's Crypt, it's so atmospheric. It's almost hard to describe, but I will just say this. They've changed around the way that you enter. You're entering in a completely different area, and you wind up, the very first room you get into is the basement. And there's this big door, you open it up, and when you walk in, as soon as that door closes, you feel as though you're completely on your own. And you're isolated, and you're in almost like a movie set. They did this thing where you're walking down a hallway, and there are lights, bare lights, hanging above, and they only go on and they flicker on when you walk towards them, and when you walk towards them they flicker on, and then they flicker off after you walk past them. Brilliantly done. Made this corridor so atmospheric. Pools of light down this big long corridor. You don't know who's coming from where or anything, and you feel as though you're completely by yourself, isolated. I have to say, as Laura mentioned, the sound, and Michael mentioned too, the sound design in here is outstanding. Rooms, you'd walk in and it would trigger sounds specific to that room, let's say. And there were atmospheric sounds through the whole thing. Dripping water, little thunder and lightning, creaks, stuff like that. Not music. And I have to say, I don't recall any other haunt that's done things exactly in that way. Laura mentioned the swamp scene. There's this scene, you're walking along a bridge, but not through the center of the scene. You're along the left-hand side, and as far as you could see to the right, now you know it's a room, but it's so well done that it actually looks as though there's depth and no ending to the jungle/swamp type area. And there's real running water in there. It's humid in there. It sounds like rain. It smells like rain. It's just so much in this haunt. There are areas with carpeting. There are areas with cushioning on the floors to deaden sound. And I have to say, this is probably one of 2 haunts that I can think of in past decade of haunting where I felt like I needed to look over my shoulder, that someone was coming. And it happened repeatedly in the Devil's Crypt. We'd round a corner, and then sometimes they'd have these figures that weren't real people, and you thought they were real people. I have to say, the atmosphere is outstanding in there. It actually makes it seem longer than it is. It's about 18 minutes long, maybe 19 minutes long, but it seems a lot longer than that. And again, every room is interconnected. The set design this year is the best we've seen in all the years that we've gone to Cicero. Every room is interconnected. It's in an old abandoned building, and they effectively use all the real rooms in the abandoned building, plus they create their own. Laura mentioned a crypt set. It actually looks like you're in a cave, descending cave like a staircase, but it's a stone staircase, faux stone, into this giant satanic type crypt. It's just outstanding. So many things in there. I won't spoil anything because the video can go on and on with so many great things, so I won't spoil it. One thing about Cicero is that it made the skin crawl on the back of my neck. That is something that rarely happens in haunts, and this time around, it was so funny because I felt creeped out as if someone was following me several times, and there was nobody there. There was nobody following me. And I knew it. My logical part of my mind told me nobody was there, but the sounds coming from all around you and the way the corners were in shadows as you turned almost forced you to think that in the darkness someone was there. That is outstanding atmosphere. Very few haunts does this sort of thing happen to me, and it happened to me in Cicero. Another reason why I just love it. Go to Cicero. It's a fun atmosphere on the outside. They have food. They have a DJ. They have Mountain Dew's there. You know, if you like Mountain Dew, it's there. Entertainment, weight entertainment, everything is top-notch here. Easily competes with some of the best. It's a Hall of Fame again this year, and if you go, you'll know why it's a Hall of Fame. Easily. Great, great haunt. Is something wrong?
It keeps going blurry, and you're not moving your hands. It has something to do with your hands.
It's the light.
You're going blurry. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Is that stopping the blurriness?
No, it started again.
I don't know why it's doing that.
And your battery's dying.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, let me
Just finish it up.
All right, so